Hi guys, in this video we're going to be doing a craft, and I ordered this tomb, like it's going to be an Easter craft, and this is like the stone is rolled away tomb piece, and it came with a cross, and then an angel, and these are probably the two Marys. Mary Magdalene and Mary, the mother of Jesus. They went to the tomb, and they're the one that found the tomb empty. I got those off of Amazon. They came as a set, and I wanted to get one that was unfinished because I wanted to decorate it and embellish it and that kind of stuff. You can get them already like varnished and shiny and really pretty, but like I said, I purchased the unfinished one. I will link it in the description box below. And then this is just a piece of wood that Scott cut for me out of our pile of scraps, and this is going to be the base that I'm going to be building the scene on, and ultimately this is going to be on my centerpiece on my dining room table. I wanted to, I know for a fact I want the stone to be not finished. I just want to put some shiny Mod Podge on it to make it shiny. So I know that one's going to stay this color. I know I want the cross. I'm going to paint it in this gloss black, and then I'm going to take some sandpaper and rough up the edges, distress the edges. So I know I want that for the cross. And then for these two pieces, I'm not 100% sure. I'm thinking about going like in a gradient, like the black obviously would be the darkest, this will be the lightest, and then next darkest. So it kind of the ombre effect, kind of. So that's what I kind of had in mind. So I have this paint stir stick, and I'm going to use this as a tester because I want to see. I've got different things here. I've got this Provincial water-based poly stain plus poly, which means this would be shiny. This would be, a glossy finish, just like the black paint. So I'm sure I'm going to use that. And then I'm going to use either my Antiquing Wax by Waverly or this Truffle Chalk Paint. And I know that Truffle Chalk Paint is a matte finish. So if I ended up using this, I will definitely have to cover it with some glossy Mod Podge once it's dry. But I don't know, I'm not sure which one I'm going to use, and if this is going to be darker than this, I don't know. So I'm going to do a little test, and I'm going to see which I like best. Now I know this is not exactly the same kind of wood, so that will make a difference too, but I really just want to know which one is going to be, which of these three are the darkest, so I know which one to use in what order. So I'm just going to do a little test on here. Okay, so what I think I'm going to do is I am not going to use the truffle at all. I didn't like that truffle paint. And I'm going to go, the cross is going to be the black, like I said. This piece is going to be the antiquing wax. And then this piece is going to be the Varathane. The Varathane's gel stain. So I'm glad I did this because I really wasn't sure how these two were going to act in particular, and I didn't realize the truffle kind of has a gray undertone to it, which I don't really like. So those are going to be the 3 stains, and then this is going to be just clear. So we're going to go ahead and get started on this because I'm not sure how long this stuff is going to take to dry. And let's see, that's my antiquing wax. And there's the, all right. And while this stuff is drying, I can work on some other parts of this project. So when I get these done, the one that has the antiquing wax on it is really not that much darker than the Varathane stain. So I am going to try putting a second coat of wax on this and see what it does. If it doesn't do what I want it to do, I'll have to see if Olivia has a brown paint in her stash, because I don't have any other brown paint. But this is definitely, I mean, it's pretty, but there's not enough of a contrast that I'm looking for. So let's try this one again. I still need to stain the back of this, although I don't think I'm going to need to stain the back of it because it's going to be glued to that. So yeah, I don't need to stain the back of this particular piece. I like the way it looks though. It's really pretty, that Varathane stain, and my cross turned out really good too, although I'm not done with this either. So let me go ahead and see what I can do with this one. Alright, that's getting there. Here's the cross behind it. It's getting there. I think I'm going to do one more coat of the Waverly Antiquing Wax, and then I think it'll be perfect. I think that looks pretty good. Now, I don't think these are as shiny as I want them to be, so I'm going to let these dry for like an hour, and then I'm going to come back and I'm going to put some Mod Podge on them. Either that, or I'm going to use my heat tool here and speed up the drying process a little bit on these. They need to be pretty dry so that the Mod Podge doesn't like do anything weird on it. And then I think this is not quite dry in the corners, so I'm going to have to hit this with the heat gun too. But let me go ahead and heat dry these a little bit and heat dry this a little bit more, and I'll bring you back when I'm ready to do the next step on the cross. All right, I've got some 220 grit sandpaper here, and I'm just going to hit all of the edges around this to distress it up and hopefully get it like back down to the wood. So that's what I'm going to do next. I don't really want to do a whole lot of sanding on the front. I just basically want to get the edges. Yeah, that's exactly what I was wanting. I love that. That looks great. But I'm not done with the cross yet. I have a scrap of purple fabric that I'm going to hot glue onto the cross so that it's draping. But this is too wide, so I'm going to cut it in half. This was just a scrap of fabric I had in my stash. And I've got some of these electronic scissors that Scott got me for Christmas. And they work great, but I'm a little scared of them because they cut so fast. And I don't want to cut myself. I want to make sure it stays folded in half. It doesn't matter too much because it's just going to be bunched up on the cross and hot glued in place, and so it's even going to have like raw edges and the whole bit. There we go. And just kind of scrunch it up and kind of situate it on the cross. So let me go ahead and fiddle with this for a little bit, get it the way I want it, glue it on there, and then I'll probably trim the edges a little bit because it doesn't need to be quite that long. I really want this to be kind of like pleated, the part that hangs down here, and I can't get this to stay pleated on its own, so I got out my little mini iron here. And I'm just going to kind of do like an accordion fold. Kind of like that. And then I'm going to iron it without burning myself, hopefully. I'm working with lots of tools today. All right. And seeing the thing of it is, if I don't like it, I can always iron it flat again. I was kind of wishing I had like a purple tulle that would drape so much nicer. Yeah, that is not working either. Let me iron this flat. Let me look in my stash. I really love this color of purple, but I wish it was more drapey, because I can't get it to drape the way I want it to. Well, maybe I can, kind of like that. That doesn't look bad, like that. All right, let me just do that. I'm almost afraid to let go of it because it just like magically went the way I wanted it. And I'm afraid if I let go of it, it's not gonna work the way I want it to. So yeah, I like that, but it is a little too long, so I'm going to trim off about 1.5 inches on each side. All right, I put 2 coats of that glossy Mod Podge on those pieces there, and I'm letting them dry. And while those are drying, I'm going to work on these 3 pieces. And I think for these 2, I'm going to do like I did with the cross. I'm going to paint them, and then I am going to distress them with sandpaper. I borrowed some of this paint from Olivia, this nutmeg, and then this khaki tan. So I think I'm going to try the nutmeg. Actually, let me try these on this first and just see what they look like. So that's the nutmeg brown, and then this is the khaki tan. Yeah, I like both of those. I think I'm going to go with the khaki tan on the bigger one, and then the nutmeg on the small one. So let me go ahead and get these painted, and then we'll distress them after, and I'll use my drying gun. for the angel, I am going to use this Extreme Glitter. It goes on white and it dries clear. And then on the wings, I'm going to add some extra glitter. So I'm going to do the wings first, and then I will do the rest of the body with this. And it looks like I got a little bit of paint on there that I did not mean. There we go. It's still there, but it kind of just looks like part of the wood. So I'm going to use this kind of as the glue to put the glitter on the wings. Yeah. And so let's just kind of see what happens, and I'll probably seal it with this Mod Podge. So on the stone that was rolled away, I got these little stick-on letters. Got them off of Amazon. I will link these as well. And I am going to attempt to write, "He is risen." I'm just hoping that, I think if I put the word risen right there, "He is risen," that will work. Alright, that was a little bit more fiddly than I thought it was going to be. I ended up going off camera to do this because I had to get it up really close to my face, and I had to go get one of these little, this is like a cuticle thing to position the letters, because they're tiny. I don't know how it's showing up on camera, but it's very small. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and Mod Podge this to seal these letters in, and then I need to let my camera battery charge again, so while it's charging I can let all of these other pieces thoroughly dry. So let me go ahead and Mod Podge this. I think the angel needs another coat of that glitter paint. And I might put some silver. I'm not really sure. Maybe it just needs some Mod Podge. I'm not really sure. I mean, there is a contrast between the glitter of this and the glitter of the wings. Maybe I'll just put a second coat of glitter on the wings. But anyway, I'm going to put you guys on fast speed, and I'm going to do these two pieces. Then I'm going to let my phone charge while all of this stuff is drying. And then we can move on to actually assembling this onto the base. And I've decided that even though this is a gloss paint on this cross, I'm going to go ahead and put some of this glossy Mod Podge on it, just so that it's the same glossy finish as everything else. Just needs to be a little bit glossier. And I'll just have to be careful up around the fabric. I'm only going to put one coat on here since this paint was glossy to begin with. All right, I'm going to get this finished up, let all this stuff dry, and I'll be back in probably an hour. All right, it has been a couple hours actually, and everything is pretty dry. This still feels a little bit tacky, but I think that'll be fine. This is looking really good. And these are the two Marys, and I'm going to take some fabric. I'm going to make little veils for them. Maybe, if I can get it to look right. So I know I'm not going to need very much at all. All right, I am going to prepare this piece of wood really quick. The top is going to be completely covered, so I don't need to do anything with that. But in the bottom, I'm not going to do anything with that. But I think with the sides, I'm just sanding it to get any dirt or rough edges off. I think I'm going to use some of my antiquing wax to go around the edge of this so that it looks finished. All right, I am going to use some of this Titebond Quick and Thick multi-purpose or multi-surface glue, as well as a little bit of hot glue to stick these pieces together. The Quick and Thick is kind of like a wood glue, and it will give it a permanent hold, and then the hot glue will give it a quick hold so that I can keep working. But you don't want to use a lot of hot glue on these because it will I want them to fit up against each other tightly. I don't know if I'm making that clear, but the hot glue will leave a little bit of a bump, especially if you don't work quickly enough. So I'm mostly going to use this Titebond. I really like this glue. It does dry quickly and it dries clear. So if some of it squishes out, it won't really matter too much. I'm just going to put a little bit of hot glue there, a little bit of hot glue there. And here we go. Great, perfect. We've got that together. Now we're going to glue the stone that was rolled away to the side here using the same method. Now let's pull the base in, and we are going to, where's the cross? Here's the cross. We're going to put the cross behind here. It doesn't necessarily have to be glued to the mountainside or whatever, hillside or whatever that is. But I do want to make sure that it's on here even. So let me turn this so I can see it really well. I ended up having to put some weight on these pieces because the hot glue didn't work super fantastic. I don't know if it's because I had put Mod Podge on these or what, but the hot glue just did not want to stick. Normally hot glue will work on wood, so I don't think that was the issue. So now I'm going to go ahead and glue this onto here. And I'm not even going to mess with the hot glue. I'm just going to use the Quick and Thick. And I'll have to hold it in place for a few minutes before I can move on to the next step. So let me go ahead and get this glued on here, and once it's setting good enough and not moving, I'll bring you back for the next bit. And while that's sitting there, I'm going to go ahead and put the ladies and the angel on, and I'm going to just do that in the same manner with the Quick and Thick glue. So the glue is pretty dry. It says, you know, not to jostle it or do anything major with it for 24 hours, which I'm not planning to. And I am not done with this yet. I want to add some Spanish moss around here, and then some little flowers and whatnot. And I think I am going to try using hot glue for this. And I'm going to put a little bit of this kind of moss like up on the ledge of the rock. So let's go ahead and get started doing that. Gotta get my finger protector on here because I'm going to be using hot glue. I would say that it is done. So now I'm going to go up and I am going to style it on my table for my Easter tablescape. Before I wrap up this video, I just wanted to mention quickly, in case you had not seen my community post about my brother. This is my brother Stan. He is the second oldest in the family, and he passed away on Monday, February 23rd, after a relatively short battle with a very aggressive form of brain cancer. I think this will probably be the only video this week that I will have for you. I'm sure you will understand. Thank you so much for those who have seen the community post and who have offered their condolences. It means the world to me. But anyway, friends, I hope you enjoyed this video. I had such a good time putting this craft together. I loved it. It was relaxing, it was easy, and it was creative, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. Again, I will link the I'll put the link to the kit in my description box. So if you want to do something similar to this, you can. Thank you all so much for watching. If you've enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to leave a comment in the comment section below, and we will talk to you all later. Bye-bye, friends.